as the right of way. And the car behind should avoid contact with slower or stop traffic. There will be absolutely no bumping, swerving, or hitting the rail. At the end of the race, the red light will indicate that the ride is over. Please slow down and enter the loading area with caution. Remain seated until directed to exit by the attendant. Reckless driving or breaking the rules will not be allowed, and anyone doing so will be asked to leave the track without a refund. Remember, racers, this is a driver-controlled ride, and you are riding at your own risk. Ride safely and have a great race. Thank you. Please remain seated until directed to exit. 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 Welcome, racers. For your safety, remain seated until directed to exit. We have the directed to exit left. And seatbelt remain forward and adjust the right. You must keep both hands on the steering wheel at all times. Directed to exit. Please secure all the keys remaining all pairs. And the cart should stop. Please remain in racer until directed to exit. During the race, start ahead at the right way. And the car should avoid contact with slower or stop traffic. There will be absolutely no bumping, swerving, or hitting the race. At the end of the race, the red light will indicate the right way over. Slow down and enter the loading area with caution. Remain until directed to exit by the attendant and to exit. Reckless driving or breaking the rules will not be allowed. But anyone racing will be asked to leave the track without a refund. Remember, racers, this is a driver-controlled ride, and you are riding at your own risk. Drive safely and have a great race. Thank you.
Look at all the races.